January 20th, 2025. Trump walks back into the White House. The crowd goes wild. Confetti falls. And somewhere in the background, every investor on Earth is doing the same thing, staring at their screen, asking one question. Where do I put my money right now? Some bet on crypto. Trump loves crypto. Obviously, Bitcoin was going to explode, right? Some bet on stocks. America first. Business-friendly president. The market should fly. Some bought gold. Nervous about everything. Just want something real. And a few quiet ones bought silver. Nobody talked about it. Nobody made YouTube videos about it. Same $10,000. Same moment. Same president. 5 completely different outcomes. And one of them, one that almost nobody picked, turned that $10,000 into something nobody expected. We're going to run every single scenario today. Real numbers. No predictions, no guesses, just what actually happened if you had invested $10,000 in every major asset class the day Trump took office. Stay till the end because the winner is going to surprise you, and the loser, that's going to sting. Let's start with the one everybody was most confident about. Trump had made it clear. He was crypto-friendly. His administration wanted to make America a Bitcoin superpower. He signed an executive order exploring a strategic Bitcoin reserve. His own family launched crypto products. The signal couldn't have been louder. And on Inauguration Day, it looked like the trade of the decade was already paying off. Bitcoin hit $108,500 that very day, an all-time high. Your $10,000 was already worth slightly more just by being in the right place. Then things got complicated. Within weeks, Bitcoin started slipping. By February, it was already down from the highs. Then April came. Trump dropped his Liberation Day tariffs on the world, markets panicked, and Bitcoin cratered, all the way down to $74,000. Your $10,000 investment was now worth just $6,800. But it recovered. Bitcoin always does. It surged back to a new all-time high of $124,773 in October of 2025. If you happened to sell that week, you were a genius, but most people didn't sell. Most people rode it all the way up and watched it fall right back down again. By the time we're recording this, in June of 2026, Bitcoin is trading right around $65,000. That's down roughly 33% from its Inauguration Day price. Your $10,000, worth about $6,700. The most hyped asset of the Trump era. The one everyone was most certain about. The one with the presidential endorsement. Lost you $3,300. That's the part nobody's making videos about. Nobody's excited about the S&P 500. It's not a story. It's not a headline. It's not something you bring up at dinner. But here's what it did. The market had its own drama under Trump's second term. Liberation Day tariffs in April sent stocks down nearly 19% at the worst point. There was genuine panic. Headlines screamed recession. People pulled money out. But the market came back. By the second half of 2025, the Federal Reserve cut rates 3 times. AI spending accelerated. Corporate earnings grew over 12%. The S&P 500 finished 2025 up 18%. Your $10,000 quietly grew. Add in 2026's gains, and from Inauguration Day to now, the S&P 500 has returned roughly 20 to 22% in total, including dividends. Your $10,000, worth about $12,000 to $12,200. No drama, no midnight panic, no crashing to $6,800. Just steadily, quietly up. You didn't feel like a genius, but you didn't lose sleep either. Now we get to the one that actually stunned the market. Gold was trading around $2,741 per ounce on Inauguration Day. Respectable, solid, but nobody was expecting what was coming. When Trump's tariffs hit, when trade war fears escalated, when the dollar started weakening and global uncertainty spiked, money flooded into gold. Not a little, a lot. Gold hit $3,162 in April, then kept going. $3,500, $4,000, $4,500. By year end, gold was sitting at over $4,500 per ounce, and the run didn't stop there. By the time we're talking today, gold has surged to around $5,300. That's roughly an 80% gain from Inauguration Day. Your $10,000, worth about $18,000. Think about that. the safe haven, the boring old people metal, the thing your grandfather used to talk about. It outperformed Bitcoin, it outperformed the stock market, it outperformed almost everything. And the reason? Every time Trump created uncertainty, tariffs, trade wars, dollar weakness, geopolitical noise, investors ran to the one thing that has held value for 5,000 years. Gold didn't win because of Trump. Gold won because of Trump. Okay, now we get to the one that made people's jaws drop. Silver started 2025 at around $29 per ounce. Quiet, ignored, not even in most people's investment conversation. But silver had something going on underneath the surface that most investors didn't see. Industrial demand was exploding. Solar panels need silver. AI data centers need silver. Electric vehicles need silver. The world was consuming silver faster than it was mining it. And then the macro winds hit. Same safe haven buying that lifted gold, same dollar weakness, same global uncertainty. Silver didn't just follow gold, it raced past it. By October 2025, silver shattered its all-time high, a record that had stood for 45 years since 1980. Then it kept going. By December 2025, silver hit $60. In early 2026, it cleared $100 per ounce, the first time in history. From $29 to over $70 where it sits today. That's a gain of well over 140%. Your $10,000 invested in silver on Inauguration Day, worth somewhere between $22,000 and $24,000. No one was talking about silver on January 20th, 2025. It wasn't the Trump trade, it wasn't the headline, it was just sitting there, doing the work for the people who noticed. The loudest trade lost money, the quietest trade more than doubled it. Let's not forget the fifth option, the one people pick when they don't trust the market, don't trust crypto, don't trust anything. U.S. Treasuries, government bonds, the mattress of the financial world. With interest rates where they were in early 2025, a one-year Treasury was yielding around 4.2 to 4.5%. Not exciting, but safe. Over 17 months with a short-term Treasury, your $10,000 would have grown to roughly $10,600 to $10,700. You didn't lose anything, you didn't gain much. But while Bitcoin was dropping 33% and everyone was panicking in April, your number just sat there, steady, boring, safe. Sometimes that's worth something. Let's put it all together. Same $10,000, same starting line. January 20th, 2025. Bitcoin dropped to around $6,700. The S&P 500 quietly grew to about $12,100. Gold surged to around $18,000. Silver exploded to about $24,000. Treasuries quietly grew to around $10,650. The most talked about asset lost money, the most ignored asset more than doubled your money. And the safe metal that everybody called boring, it turned in the best performance of the entire Trump era so far. Here's what this whole story is actually about. On January 20th, 2025, the loudest voices in the room were all pointing at Bitcoin. Presidential backing, regulatory tailwinds, institutional adoption. The narrative was perfect. And narratives don't pay your bills. Numbers do. The assets that won weren't the ones with the best story. They were the ones with the best fundamentals. Real industrial demand, dollar weakness, global uncertainty, supply constraints. Silver wasn't exciting, it was just correct. This happens every single time a major political event reshapes the conversation around investing. The loudest trade attracts the most money. The most money creates the most hype. The hype convinces more people, and then reality shows up and doesn't care about the noise. There's a question I want you to sit with before you close this video. What are you invested in right now? And is it because the numbers are good, or because the story feels right? Because in investing, a great story with bad numbers will cost you money every time. The market doesn't read the headlines, it reads the balance sheet. If this video made you rethink anything, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And tell me in the comments, which asset did you actually pick in January 2025? Let's see who actually got it right.